Another left-handed batter in New Zealand's squad. That is how I'll describe Brooke Halliday, the one who's on this show of Beyond the Boundary. Hello, Brooke. Good to have you, and I hope you are safe and sound.
Hey, yep, good to be back in New Zealand. Just what was it? I think 11 days until we can go see our families. But yeah, it's been good being back in our own country.
Yeah, let's start by talking about your recent tour. You've been part of the White Ferns squad that toured England. What were your learnings from this series that concluded recently?
I think the biggest learning for me personally, and I think everyone, was just that what we've been working on in the winter, has been worth it. When we look back to the beginning of the year when we versed England, and it was a bit of a whitewash, was very disappointing kind of series. And the two series that we just versed England in, both T20 and one days, it was a lot more close contest. And yes, there's a lot of positives to take out of it, even though the results, anyone that looks at the scorecards or what, see that we didn't win too many, but there was a lot of positives to take out of it.
You started against New England at home, your international series. You started wonderfully well, 250s in your first two games. What was one of the differences you found in playing England then and the recent series?
Probably the conditions. Like it's the first time I've ever kind of gone out of New Zealand, especially to the other side of the world, just in general, but even more to play cricket. I think the biggest thing as well is back at the beginning of the year, way more nerves. My first series, first bat, and I felt not as much pressure on me, but just kind of enjoyed the whole experience. Whereas this time, a bit more pressure on me because now, it's not my first rodeo. Time, everything kind of seemed the same. Faced a couple of new bowlers that I hadn't faced before. The likes of Dean and what was the other one? Another one, Shrubsole, which was really good to face, especially coming into the World Cup next year.
Let's talk about your start now. How did you start playing cricket? And growing up, who did you idolize? Because you are a left-handed batter, who did you idolize while growing up?
So it kind of began with my dad and my uncles all played cricket. Even my grandfather actually played cricket, all for the same club, funnily enough. And my brother and I, who were 15 months apart, just spent most of our Saturdays down watching my uncles and dad play cricket. And I guess that was the first introduction to cricket. And then, just kind of went from there. So then Dad was our coach for many years and just started to love the game. And then inspiration. I think purely because he was left-handed, it was Stephen Fleming.
Wow. So whoever I talk to about Brooke Halliday, be it Joanne Broadbent or someone else, they say you are a calm and composed character. Are you naturally so, or did you have to do something to become calm and composed?
No, I haven't really done too much. I guess it's just who I am. I guess some people you probably talk to wouldn't say I'm really calm and composed, but it's good that on the cricket field or the cricket pitch, I'm seen as someone that's quite calm and composed, especially in those kind of situations where you need to be. Yes, I won't complain about that, but I've done nothing.
Lovely. We spoke about you being one of the left-handers in the New Zealand lineup, and the last one was Amy Satterthwaite. Any specific notes that you've exchanged with her?
Nothing really specific. We do have the odd chat about, her way of approaching things. But at the end of the day, I feel like the plans that bowlers have to me are probably quite different to Amy. So you don't want to be too focused on the real nitty-gritty of cricket and just, at the end of the day, see the ball, hit the ball and, try and get some runs to your country.
The 2019-20 season wasn't the best for you in terms of injuries, etc. How did you kind of recover from that phase, and who kind of supported you through that season?
I don't know. You kind of just get on with life in a way. Not dwell on it too much. At the end of the day, you just do what you have to do to get your body right and ready, and then you just train. Enjoy your cricket. I think it's probably the main thing. And once you're enjoying your cricket, everything kind of flows. And it was probably the biggest thing for me from the beginning of the 2020 just 2020 to the end of 2020. It was this year trying to enjoy my cricket, get back into it, and just, yeah, and everything flowed from there. And I was fortunate enough to be able to contribute to ND and then White Ferns at the beginning of this year.
You got your first central contract. Has that sunk in, and what has changed after that?
I don't know if it ever sinks in. It's real, what's the word? To begin with, it was really nice to be reassured that Bob Carter and the selectors, see me to be good enough to be playing for the White Ferns. And then for me, it's just more reassurance in my game, and gives me a bit more flexibility with training, because I'm still kind of doing part-time work over here, but having that extra money, having annual leave, well, not annual leave, but leaving work to go train and go to winter camps, it's not as much pressure on me financially. So probably the biggest thing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what sort of money we're getting from New Zealand cricket. Cricket's cricket, and you just love being out there. So that's the main thing.
You are young in international cricket, but I want your thoughts on Test cricket, because women don't play that format much. And this year we are going to see, we've seen 2 tests. We'll probably see a third one in the Ashes as well. Where do you stand in terms of wanting to play Test cricket, and your thoughts on that format overall?
Love to play Test cricket. Be interesting how it is on the body, because 4 days of Test cricket, I could just imagine how hard it is on the body, especially because we don't really get much. Over here we play 2 1-days in a row, Saturday, Sunday, for our domestic cricket. And that Monday morning after you've played those 2, it's a hard day. So, it'd be really nice to actually just have that opportunity to be able to play a longer form of cricket. If we get that opportunity, it'd be absolutely amazing. And I'd be all for it.
Indeed, and this is a year that has the World Cup on the horizon. What are your plans in terms of preparations for the home World Cup?
Once we go to MIQ, go see my family, and then we're getting into our domestic season over here. So it's the start of summer, and I'm pretty sure New Zealand cricket have got a lot of summer camps planned as well, leading into, I think, we're versing India at some point before the World Cup. So a lot of cricket, to be honest, with domestic winter camps, then series against India, and should be a nice setup for us going into the World Cup.
It's still some time away, but do you have small goals that you kind of have planned in lead up to that World Cup?
I think always just trying to develop my game. Coming out of the England series, there's a lot of things that I want to work on, and cricket's the kind of thing that you can never be perfect at, and all it takes is for one bad innings or one, something for you to reassess or overlook, or what's the word? Overcomplicate cricket, I guess, in a way. And for me, it's just going back to the nets and working on what I've been working on the last 6 months, and trying to perfect the art of batting. But then at the same time, fielding and every other aspect of cricket. So nothing really too specific or anything I'm going to get into, but there's a few things I want to work on.
Lovely. Thanks, Brooke, for your time. It was lovely chatting to you, and I had fun. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.